thing of it is, you got to think about it. We sitting here talking about it, right? He's the backup quarterback. He's sitting there, he's learning, he's doing whatever the case may be. He's sitting there, he ain't saying nothing, he's learning. The narrative that we got to go week by week to say he's either ready or not ready is crazy. It's like, yo, at the end of the day, he's the backup quarterback supporting Dillon Gabriel, learning the game plan, and doing it out.
An expert just blew the roof off the whole Cleveland Browns situation, and he didn't do it quietly. Word is the dog pound been pushing wild stories about Shedeur Sanders like they're out here running some imaginary NFL drama series instead of talking real football. 1 minute they're acting like reporters, the next they're dropping full-on comedy episodes disguised as team updates. And this expert, he snapped for real. He lit them up hotter than Myles Garrett crashing a party in full beast mode. This Browns chaos didn't just escalate, it exploded. The Browns really pulled another classic move, like they're addicted to finding fresh ways to embarrass themselves in front of the entire league. This franchise been through decades of heartbreak, weird play calls, and a quarterback merry-go-round that never stops spinning, but somehow they still discover brand new levels of confusion. This time, it ain't even about an ugly loss or another head-scratching decision on the field. It's all about Shedeur Sanders and the wild rumor storm they built around him like they're creating their own conspiracy universe. And the craziest part, it's like losing games wasn't enough. They're losing narratives too. Every time the Browns take an L, the Shedeur Sanders buzz hits turbo mode. Fans start chanting, analysts start running their mouths, and somewhere in that building, a stressed-out PR intern is typing up another "future is bright" message. But let them catch one lucky win.
There's been a major narrative shift in Cleveland. After Dillon Gabriel's shaky play, the Browns are suddenly hyping up Shedeur Sanders like they believed in him all along. Funny how fast the story changes when the results don't match the plan. Buddy doubled down on what he said, the clip I just showed y'all. So now, this what the Browns doing. They actually done start doing it. I told y'all that it was gonna be the bye week. I told y'all they gonna start putting out little stuff, and then the bye week come after next week. Well, after this week, after this Sunday, the Browns got.
And suddenly, silence. It's like Shedeur's name gets wiped from the whole system like he never existed. The switch up is wild. This, the same squad that was hyping him up as the next superstar, acting like he was about to carry the whole city. Then, the moment things change even a little, they pretend he ain't even on the roster. It's so strange it feels like someone unplugged the hard drive with his name on it. And right when this whole storyline couldn't sound any wilder, the expert who finally had enough, Garrett Bush, just let loose on live air. No fancy words, no soft delivery, he just told it straight with zero hesitation, blasting the whole organization with a take so strong it shook the room. He didn't hold back for a second. He basically said what every reasonable person's been thinking, but nobody wanted to say out loud. The Browns ain't playing football with Shedeur Sanders. They're playing mind tricks. If you really pay attention, the pattern is loud and clear. Shedeur only gets snaps when the moment doesn't really matter. When the camera's dim, when the pressure's low, when the outcome won't change a thing, that's when they slide him in like it's some charity moment. They're not testing him, they're testing the fans' patience. Garrett Bush called them out for treating Shedeur like a distraction piece, not a real quarterback.
I think increasingly the narrative is it's starting to get out more that the Browns believe that he is not ready. That is
Joe Flacco said it this week.
Flacco said it. There's other players that have skirted around the issue, and there are I don't want to say leaks, but you hear things from inside teams all the time. And to me, and Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, it increasingly has become the narrative that he is not ready. Am I overstating that?
No, I mean, I've been saying it for...
When the team starts sinking, they flash him like a new gadget to get fans looking away from the scoreboard. They're basically saying, don't stress the score, look at Shedeur warming up. It's wild. It's like a magician waving one hand in your face while hiding the mistake with the other. Watching him come in during those soft, defensive looks doesn't build experience, it just uses him. It's like giving someone a test drive in a car that never leaves the lot. You can rev the engine all day, but you're not getting anywhere. And just when the debate got heated, the other voice in the room stepped up. Mary Kay Cabot jumped in and flipped the whole conversation on its head. She basically said, enough with the games, this kid can actually play. She said Shedeur Sanders isn't just talented, he's dangerously accurate. We're talking throws so clean they make established veterans look like they're struggling against hurricane winds. She painted the picture of him dropping perfect passes to practice squad receivers like he's running a masterclass out there. Imagine that. Elite precision, real control, calm energy way beyond his years, and he's doing it with players whose names barely show up on the roster. That alone tells a whole story. She pointed out how his throwing motion is smooth, flexible, and adaptable, like he's built for the modern game. This isn't some hype experiment. This is a quarterback who's ready right now, whether the Browns want to admit it or not. He doesn't just throw passes, he crafts them like he's shaping something real. If there's the smallest window, he slides the ball right through it.
Shedeur has really heightened people's emotions one way or another from the beginning of the draft process to now, that it's just easily to trigger. And I think that, with the hat backwards and things like that, I ain't gonna say his name, but when I seen that, I kind of like put it out there. Like when I seen him in person, I'll let him know he tripping. And shout out to my employers for allowing me to sit there with my hat backwards when I'm on the radio, when I'm right here on UCSS or wherever I'm at. I just think people are finding whatever it is to poke at.
If pressure comes crashing in, he shifts and adjusts like he's been doing this for a decade. It's straight up artistry out there. And while the Browns front office keeps cooking up new excuses, Mary Kay Cabot is out here showing clips that make them look like they're hiding a masterpiece from the world. Instead of admitting he's that good, they'd rather act like they're nervous about what happens once everyone sees it. Because here's the truth. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a quarterback. He's a whole movement. He's young, confident, charismatic, and his fan base is already massive. That kind of energy comes with real influence. And the Browns don't like when anyone outside the building holds any power. So instead of letting this moment grow, they're doing what insecure franchises always do. They try to control the story, twist things around, spin the narrative, and hope fans just forget what they've seen. Garrett Bush didn't stop there either. He straight up accused them of trying to slow down Shedeur's rise. He said the Browns can't handle the idea that a young quarterback might become more popular than the team itself. And honestly, he's not wrong. Cleveland's whole brand been built on chaos and that suffering fan culture energy. If they ever became calm and steady, half their identity would vanish overnight. So the easiest way to stay in control, keep Shedeur in the background, hand select what the media sees, question his readiness, and treat every big moment like it's just potential.
As a veteran, what's impressed you the most on how he's approached the game?
All the time he takes, showing up early. Coach's office is easily seen when you walk in the building, and almost every morning you see him in there, talking through plays, talking through schemes with coach, and making sure that he's ready for his moment when he gets called up. And I appreciate that level of maturity and attention to detail.
That's the only person that matters that I want to hear from.
It's textbook PR strategy. Keep the future hero waiting in the wings so you always have something shiny to throw out there when the season gets messy. Bush even said the players in the locker room know the real story. Think about that. Myles Garrett, the face of the franchise, sees something special in Shedeur, and yet the people upstairs keep acting like none of this is real. When your defensive superstar is standing up for your young quarterback, that should mean something big. But apparently, logic packed its bags and left Cleveland a long time ago. They out here studying wind patterns and cloud shapes more than they study their own quarterback situation. Garrett even joked that Shedeur is basically living inside the coach's offices, absorbing every play, every detail, every little piece of the scheme like he's prepping for a final exam. He already knows he's gonna ace. And that's exactly why he's seen as a threat, not to the other team, but to the people trying to protect their positions. Once fans realize they've got a mature, skilled, fan-favorite quarterback sitting on standby, the uncomfortable questions start rolling in fast. Questions like why he's not playing, questions like who's scared of him taking off, questions like what's really happening behind those locker room doors, and it fits Cleveland's pattern perfectly.
Football team, head coach, and his coaching staff, they want the credit. of the development of Shedeur Sanders. When you hear Mary Kay and Tony Grossi, them come out and saying positive stuff about Shedeur Sanders so far now, you already know people on the inside of the building are giving them information to say.
They love talking about competition, but the moment real competition shows up, they hit the panic button. They've spent years pushing this idea of building a winning culture, but the second someone shakes the comfort zone, they slap a label on him, not ready. It's the same tired playbook every time. Deflect, delay, deny. They're not managing talent, they're managing fear. Let's be real for a second. Cleveland's PR crew gotta be sweating for real now. The harder they try to control the narrative, the more wild it gets. Every single clip of Shedeur tossing a perfect spiral hits social media like a warning shot. Every time a veteran speaks up for him, management ends up looking even more lost. It's slowly turning into a full-blown internal split. Locker room on one side, front office on the other, with the fans stuck in the middle yelling, just let him play.
He telling you he mature, he in there early, in the coach office, going over plays. I don't want to hear nothing about the media, because they ain't in there. Myles Garrett is in there, and he just said it out of his own mouth.
The Browns' obsession with waiting for the right time has turned into a running joke. They keep saying it's not the right moment, like that phrase is supposed to mean something. So when exactly is the right moment? When the season is already cooked? When the fans are drained and checked out? When Shedeur finally signs with another team that actually wants him? At this pace, the perfect moment is going to show up 2 franchises later. History already told us the Browns only appreciate talent after it walks out the door, and that's what makes this whole situation both funny and sad at the same time. They're sitting on real potential, guarding it like it's some top secret treasure while the rest of the league watches and laughs every week. Every delay they make, every excuse they give, every questionable storyline they leak, it all ends up making Shedeur look better and making them look confused. The wildest part,
I don't want to hear from nobody, no Mary Kay, no Rex Ryan, no Joe Blow, no Tony G, no Tony Rizzo. Y'all are not in that meeting room. Y'all are not in that facility every day, walking with Shedeur to meeting room, meeting with the coaches, going through the install, then
he doesn't even have to step on the field to win the public narrative anymore. The Browns are doing his PR for him without even trying. Meanwhile, the fans are reaching their limit. And the biggest twist in all this, Shedeur is the only one acting like a real pro in this whole circus. He's keeping his head down, working hard, showing discipline, and letting his talent speak for him. No drama, no attitude, no mysterious online posts, just pure effort. And somehow, the same franchise that can't stop tripping over its own playbook is the one questioning his maturity. That's the type of upside-down logic that somehow only survives in Cleveland. Myles Garrett's endorsement should mean something huge. There's a reason his voice carries weight. When your top defensive star says the young quarterback is ready, that's not something you brush off. But the Browns don't listen. They lecture. They act like veterans are overreacting, and fans don't understand development.
ESPN Cleveland talking about the development of Shedeur Sanders, how well he has came along so far. Listen, Kevin Stefanski is covering his rear end. He know that Dylan Gabriel haven't worked out so far as the starting quarterback for the Cleveland.
Newsflash, nobody's confused except the people making the same choices over and over again. The only complicated thing here is trying to understand why they keep repeating these mistakes like it's tradition. If you've got a hard-working, accurate, smart quarterback with real leadership in his DNA, you don't stash him away like spare equipment. You build around him, unless, of course, the franchise is allergic to progress and terrified of change. At this point, it's fair to ask what the Browns' real plan even is, because it definitely doesn't look like winning. It looks like preserving egos, protecting the pecking order, and spinning stories instead of building a future. Garrett Bush didn't just criticize the Browns, he basically broke the fourth wall of Cleveland football. He said out loud the same things fans yell at their TVs every single Sunday. He said, "Stop holding back the one bright spot you actually have. And he's right. What makes this whole mess even crazier is how easily it could have been avoided with a little honesty. If the Browns had simply said, "We're giving Shedeur time to adjust," people would have understood.
Shedeur Sanders right now, I think that, some people pick and choose how they go about it. I wouldn't go about it that way. For me, I like rap music. I like video games. I like food. I like being out here on the scene. Ironically, like, one of the people that was close to him was one of my favorite rappers, Young Dolph. So, like, if I ever got a chance to sit down right now with Shedeur Sanders, I'm not going to talk to him about football, but Shedeur Sanders is not performing.
But instead, they chose puppet master mode, dropping leaks, shaping perception, and hiding behind the word competition like it explains everything. That's not leadership, that's politics. And the longer this circus continues, the clearer it becomes what the Browns' real weakness is. It's not talent, it's trust. They don't trust their coaches, they don't trust their players, and honestly, they don't trust their own decisions. Every move feels like a power struggle. Every statement feels like it was rehearsed in a meeting. And right in the middle of this storm, Shedeur Sanders keeps showing up.
Get into this thing. I want to let y'all know Kevin Stefanski did his world famous morning press conference, which we gonna listen to. I know y'all don't like it, but this is where the content is, bro. Gotta give y'all real news, not just my opinions, but what he actually said. Now, with that being said, you would think with Shedeur Sanders being the second string quarterback, he'll be getting first team reps. Well, I'm here to tell you, Kevin Stefanski just stamped that he ain't, which is a shock to me, and it should be a shock to everyone else, because it furthermore, explain to me that Kevin don't like 12.
Keeps working, keeps staying locked in, letting the chaos swirl around him while he stays steady. If that's not franchise quarterback behavior, then what is? Eventually, the Browns are gonna have to pick a side, either embrace the future or keep pretending they even have one. Fans in Cleveland have been through so much heartbreak they could teach college courses on dysfunction. They can spot nonsense from miles away. When they see a player who's ready, they know. And they know Shedeur is ready. They've watched the footage, heard the locker room whispers, and now even the big names on the team are confirming what everybody sees. The only people still pretending otherwise are the ones in control of the depth chart.
Mary Kay Cabot, the Cleveland Browns insider, man, she is something else, man. Mary Kay Cabot is now out here walking back and got the retreat dribble and backpedaling on everything that she said good about Dillon Gabriel when she saw Dillon Gabriel.
So what happens next? If history tells us anything, the Browns will probably call another behind closed doors meeting to talk about optics, drop a carefully polished statement about patience, and hope everybody chills out. But this time hits different. This time, the noise isn't coming from outside reporters. It's coming from everywhere inside the building. Players, analysts, veterans, fans. Everybody is lining up behind one loud message: let the man play. The Browns can twist the story all they want, but the truth always slips out eventually. You can't fake leadership, and you can't bury real talent forever. Shedeur's story is unfolding on its own, and every time they try to quiet it down, the whole thing just gets louder. They think they're controlling the message, but honestly, at this point, the message is controlling them.
Just trying to kill the theory that Rizzo put out that Shedeur is going to play the last 4 games of the season. Because if he's not getting first team reps, that's letting us know right there he's not playing. And they're not preparing him to play, which is crazy to me, bro, that we're sitting here and we got to deal with this damn dude week in, week out playing with us, bro. Kevin Stefanski playing.
So here's the real $1 million question. Are the Browns scared? Because that's exactly how it looks. Under all the noise and excuses, the reality is simple. Shedeur Sanders is ready. The locker room knows it. The analysts know it. The fans definitely know it. The only people acting confused are the ones paid to see it first, which is classic Browns behavior. So what's next for the Brown circus? Probably another episode of We Totally Believe in Shedeur, just not enough to actually play him. Another round of forced optimism. Another press conference packed with buzzwords like progression, timing, and competitive balance. In other words, stalling. Because deep down, they know the second Shedeur gets a real shot, there's no turning back. Once he steps out there for real, the whole spotlight shifts. all the excuses fall apart. The narrative they've been protecting collapses in seconds.
Shows talking about Mary Kay Cabot on the things that she has.
And that's their biggest fear. The truth, the accountability, the end of this idea that the Browns just need time. They've had decades of time. At this point, it's not time they're missing. It's courage. Until then, they'll keep spinning their stories. The experts will keep snapping on live air, and fans will keep laughing through the chaos, because that's the Cleveland experience. But hey, maybe this time will surprise everyone. Maybe the Browns will shock the world, bench the politics, and actually let their best quarterback take over. Maybe Shedeur finally gets the shot literally everyone knows he deserves. Or maybe, just maybe, the Browns will do what they always do. Find a brand new way to prove Garrett Bush right. Either way, grab your popcorn, because this saga is nowhere near finished. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your people, and I'll see you on the next one.